开暖气。 随便来啊，就是做你要做的事啊。因为我是很多次。Wow, that's not going to be good. 其实我先讲，但是你够，那其实我有。你要把卡输入进去，但是它不用。在信箱里。你看，你知道这个平手16倍，平手16倍。刚才猜到平手超远，刚刚到底谁会知道？大概116倍有很我觉得没有收钱，就是让你可以来干，因为没业。没有，他这个其实是想从那个角度被引导，像这个角度。他想让你打到世界冠军。但我其实不讨厌法国，但我法国还好，那个人的嘴脸很重。但是法国4、7、8、7。我在怀疑是不是大四下要想这个太少，这些课程美男课都是超少，可是去年又对不对？去年下学期那个你修的那堂课，妈的，到大三我讲下课到大三增加1点。我都不知道，有2堂课。 它变成第三个可以看。好，那时间差不多，我们开始今天的课程。今天我们讲两个部分，一个是 Google Map，一个是 Firebase。Okay? So in our today lesson, I will talk about the two topics. One is how to use Google Map, and the second one is how to use Firebase. Okay. So let's talk about how to use Google Map. So if you would like to design an app and you want to display a certain location on the Google Map, then you need to apply the Google Map SDK in your app. Okay, so let's see how to use the Google Map. Okay. Before using the Google Map, you need to make sure that you get ready in your developing the environment. Okay. So the first thing is when you create a project, you can select the Google Map template. That's the first thing. Okay. Using the Google Map template will let you easily configure the necessary setting in your app. The second one is you need to get a Google Map API key from the Google Cloud Console. Okay. So you need to log in to the Google Console using your Gmail. And then from the web page, you need to register or apply the API key. And you need to copy the API key in your app. Okay? And we will see the example later by watching the video. So on the web page, we need to enable some necessary items. The major one is the map SDK for Android. Okay, we will see it later. The second thing is that we need to make sure your Android Studio emulator, the system image, having the Google Play service. So let me open the Android Studio. For example, on this computer, we can consider the AVD setting. That's for emulator. Okay, so let me see. So, for example, for this iMac, the emulator is based on this setting, and the system image is Android API. So I'm not sure whether this Mac can display the Google Map. Actually, the system image should support the Google Play API. For example, I create a new emulator. Okay, and select the image.
我也觉得我要玩它，我觉得我开始做我就开始考人生。我现在还在第一个是。
You can see here the target show this image will support the Google API. So suppose I see the
all the images support the maybe I will try the next one. Okay, I mean the basic setting. For example, we apply the Google Map template, and then in your project, there are some important libraries. Okay, just like this one. For example, like the project builder.gradle, you need to add the test case. Look like this one. Okay, and in the module, you need to add the necessary plugin. Okay. And then in Android main fact, we need to set the API the key. Okay. Maybe let me see the video. 我看一下影片啊。Okay, so here I open the web page and go to the Google Cloud Console. Okay. From here, I new a project and input the project name. So for one project, you can apply API the key. And all your app can use the same API key. Okay. So input the project name. And then we need to enable the API key. Okay, so there's a project. And then here, we need to, so that's my new creative project. And then go to the main menu, click the API and the service. And the second one, library. We need to enable the Google Map SDK. That's for this one. Map SDK for Android. We need to enable this API function. Okay, so we can click this page and enable this service. After that, the web page will prompt a window, so you will apply the API the key. Okay. The next thing is click the credential. We need to create a new credential. And from here, create new credential. Okay, and select the API key. So you will see a generating. Okay, so the next page, you will see a pop-up window, so you will apply the API key. Okay, so you need to copy the API key into your project. Here, let's create a sample app by using the Google Map template. Okay, so here is the basic project setting. Okay, let's wait for a moment. And you can see here, if you apply the template project, you can see some plugin setting already there. Okay, so for example, like the project plugin. That's for new builder format. Okay, the format is a little different with the old version. In the old version, you can see the dependency, test case, something like that. However, in the newer version, you can see here, we use the plugin ID and the setting, quite similar to the older version. Okay, so that's for project builder, project builder.gradle. And in the module builder, you still need to add some necessary supported library. Okay. Okay, let's move on. This page is for the Android manifest.xml. Here, you need to type your API key. Okay, you can directly type your API key here, or we can keep your key in a separate file. And here we use the import using the reference. Okay. For example, here I use a variable to import your API key. Okay, the variable is called the map API key. You can see here we have the $sign symbol. That's for reference this variable. So we need to define the value for this variable. So how do we define the value? We need to define the value in this file, local.property. Okay, we need to declare a variable map API key in this file. Okay, so let's open the local.property and add a new line. Okay, declare a map API key and the setting your API key value. The API key, the format is quite similar to this one. Okay, you need to input your apply API key. Okay, not this one. You need to input the real API key. Okay, so that's for pre-requirement before you can show the Google Map. 这个必要的步骤，你这个错了，它就没办法存放。Okay, so let's consider the default layout. 我看一下它的 default layout 长什么样子。Okay, as you can see here, that's the main layout. The main layout contains a fragment tag, and the fragment will load the Google Map. Okay, the Google Map need to use the supported map fragment. Okay, so that's the default setting. 你只要用它的 template， 它的主要 layout 就一定会有这样子。Okay, you can see here, this fragment will display something like a manager. This manager will display the Google Map. Okay, so remember the fragment, the height and the width should be set to the match parent. Then you can see a larger map on your on the screen. Okay, and also setting the ID. Okay, we will refer to the ID in our program. 这是主要的步骤。Okay, so that's the main layout. Okay, and let's check the main program. Okay, this program code is generated by the template. 这主要是由 template 自动产生的程式码。You can see here, the major program code to load the Google Map is shown here. Because we have a fragment containing the Google Map. So the first thing is that we need to use the fragment manager to load the map fragment. You can see here. How do we load the fragment? We need to use the supported fragment manager and find fragment by ID, something like find view by ID. Okay, quite similar. And the ID, in my case, the map fragment, the ID is map. Okay, so here we indicate as the r.id.map. The next thing is called the get map, asynchronous. Okay. So this statement shows that we want to load the Google Map object. Okay. However, loading the Google Map, this job is something like should be run in background. So for this case, we need to set a callback function. Okay, so you can see here, our main activity will apply the unmapped ready callback. Okay. So that's the interface. Here, we need to implement a callback function. The callback function will be called when the map is get ready. When the map get ready, okay, you can see here. Okay. So that's the major program call to load the map up. And here, we need to implement on map ready. That's a callback function. Okay. The function name is fixed. You need to always provide this function on map ready. And from here, we can get the map object by refer to the passing the parameter by refer to this parameter. Okay. So having the map, we can apply the Google Map SDK function. For example, I want to place a marker on a certain location. In this case, I want to put a marker on the Sydney, okay, the capital city, and by providing the GPS location, okay. And then we call the marker function, okay. So having this setting, you will see a Google Map and a marker on the Sydney city. 它就会在那个雪梨的城市啊，就会打一个 marker 上去。好，我们看一下它的执行。啊，你看它执行是这样子。Okay, when we launch the app, run the app, you will see a Google Map and show a marker. 啊，这是很简单的一个 Google Map 的使用。However, for this case, we display the Google Map in the main activity. Typically, your app may have several other fragments. So you need to, for example, I have a list of location, and the user can select one location and switch to another fragment to show the position on the map. Okay, so for this case, we need to apply the navigation and display the Google Map on one fragment, not on activity. 有时候我们的地图呢，不是秀在主要的 activity， 是要显示在 fragment 上面。所以我们来看一下程式码要怎么改。好，这里我先跳过去一下。Okay. Besides using the callback to display the Google Map, we can apply another way by using the coroutine. Okay. 我们看一下有另外一种显示地图方式是用 coroutine. Before we can apply the coroutine function, we need to import the necessary library. 它必要的 library 把它加出来。这个是这个。The library called map, KTX. KTX means the coupling extension. 它主要是加了3个。We need to add these 3 library. Okay. After adding this supported library, we can change our program code. 好，我们程式码可以稍微改一下。Okay, you can see the change on our program code. 改完我们再把它停一下。Okay, you can see it here. Here is a major program. Okay. Here we apply the life cycle the scope. Life cycle that's for activity life cycle, and launch because we want to launch a coroutine. Okay. So inside the coroutine, our major mission is load the Google Map and display the map. Okay. We need to apply two segments. The first segment is just like this one, a wait map. This means we need to wait for the loading of the mapped object. Okay. After loading the object, we need to wait for the display of the Google Map. 它需要有两个等候的时间，一个是载入地图的物件，另外一个是地图的页面在荧幕上显示出来。Okay. After that, we can display a marker on the map. Okay. So we can change our program code just like this one. 在这个载入之后，我们就会显示某一个地点的一个 position. Okay. So we don't need to apply the callback function. Okay. So we can delete the callback interface. 那这些程式码就会把 we can remove the major program code at this position. 这样。好，就是类似这样。好 ，so that's another way by applying the coroutine. Using the coroutine, you can write your program code in sequence. Okay. For example, load the map, display the map, set the marker, and the other map function one by one. However, using the callback, you need to define another callback function. 那就比较不直接了。那使用扣routine的话呢，整个程式码可以写在同一个地方。Okay, let's see another situation. Just like said, in most of the case, your map should be displayed on a fragment, not on an activity. Okay, so let's see the example of the case. And this example, I directly modify the previous example. That's for navigation example. Okay. So suppose you remember the navigation. Okay, so we have the home fragment and a button. After clicking the button, we will switch to another fragment. So here, I want to change the layout for this fragment and display the Google Map key. Okay. So let's see how do we display the Google Map on the fragment. 我们看一下如何把地图秀在 fragment 上面，而不是秀在 activity 上面。Okay, as you can see here, the first thing we need to change the layout for this fragment. 好，那就是这个 layout。好，我要把这个 layout 改一下。Okay, as you can see here, for display the Google Map, we need to load the Google Map fragment. 这边要加一个 fragment. Add the fragment tag and specify the fragment corresponding to the Google Map fragment. Typically, we will set the size is match to the screen size. 一般就是设成 match parent， 一打开来就跟荧幕一样大。Okay, that's away from that. So here is the layout for the fragment. Okay, so the fragment the layout. So remember, this layout will contain a large map. Okay, this map is managed by this fragment. Okay, 主要是靠这个 fragment. Okay, so remember, giving the ID. Okay, and remember this ID. We need to apply the ID in our program code. 好，就是这件事情。And let's see how do we display the map on the fragment. 我们看一下我们如果在 fragment 来载入这个地图。So here I declare a variable and map that will refer to the Google Map. Okay. 好，我听一下。Just like the activity, we need to provide our program code or write our program code in the uncreate method function. And in fragment, we need to write our program code in the unview created. Fragment 的主要程式码通常都写在这里 ，unview created. Okay, we need to write all the major program code in this method function. Okay. So from here, just like the activity example, we need to run a coroutine function and load the Google map, display the map, and show the marker and so on. 大概程式码就这样，可是它的写法稍微不一样。You can see here, because here we are in the fragment, so we need to refer to the. Let's see the difference. How do we get the fragment manager? We need to apply the child fragment manager, okay, not the support fragment manager. 好，这比较不一样的地方。Because in our whole app, there is only the one the support manager, and the support manager is for activity, not for fragment. So here we need to apply another method function. We want to apply the parent fragment manager, something like that. Okay, so here we don't call the support fragment manager. However, we call the child fragment manager. 啊，这边程式码稍微不一样，这边要用 child fragment manager， 不是用 support 这个 fragment manager。Okay, so that's one difference. Another difference is shown here. 另外不一样的地方在这里。Okay, in activity, we call the Zix life cycle scope and the launch a coroutine scope and run the coroutine. However, here we are in fragment. Okay, so the life cycle scope is associated to the fragment. Okay, fragment. How do we specify that fragment? We use the view life cycle owner. We don't use the Zix. Zix means fragment, not the view life cycle owner. 这个可能大家可能不太了解。There are some difference between the fragment and the view life cycle itself. When we use a navigation controller, sometimes we will switch from the one fragment to another fragment. Remember, we have a backstack to keep the fragment object. Okay, so for example, we switch from fragment A to fragment B. The backstack will have the fragment A the object and the fragment B the object. So when we switch to the A to B, the fragment A will disappear, and we display the view for the fragment B. Okay. However, the fragment A the object is still in memory. Okay. So Zix means Zix fragment object. Okay. However, just like I said, we switch from A to B. A will disappear. Okay. So because A is disappear, so it's not necessary to display the Google map because the view is disappear. Okay. So we need to monitor whether the view of the fragment is shown there or not. Okay. So we need to use a view life cycle owner. View life cycle owner will monitor the viewed state of your fragment. Okay, if the view is disappear, the view life cycle owner will understand, oh, my view is disappear, so we don't need to run this program code. Okay, so that's quite different. 啊，记得是用 fragment 切换的时候 ，fragment 的主体还在。如果你用 this 的话呢，它仍然会认为这个 fragment 还在啊，这个程式码跑一次就好。可是呢，我们不是要这样，我们要的是这个 fragment 的 view 没有显示在荧幕上。那这个时候不要修地图，然后下次再出现的时候呢，地图要重建。就是程式码呢是要跟 你的对应的 fragment 的 view 有没有出现在荧幕上，要直接有绑定的关系，所以这边要设 view life cycle only， 而不是设 zix。Okay? So just remember, we need to use a view life cycle only, not zix, not zix. And some other program code is quite similar to the previous example. 其他程式码就跟前 activity 程式码就一模一样。Okay? We need to wait for the loading for the main object, and then wait for the display of the Google map, and then we add a marker on the map. 其他程式码就类似。我记得you need to have different coding. The first thing is remember in fragment we need to use a try fragment manager. And the second thing is apply the view life cycle on the dot life cycle scope. 这个两个不一样的地方，要留意。Okay, so having this program code, let's see the demo. Okay, so click the button, switch to another fragment, and this fragment will show the Google Maps. Okay, here, let me see another situation. Here, as you can see here, I want to put a marker on the scene leader city. Okay, and here we provide the GPS location information by giving the latitude and the longitude. Okay. However, most of the time, we don't know the exact position. We only know the rough. Maybe, for example, I just know the address for a certain position. So let me try another case. For example, I want to display the Taipei 101. Okay. However, I don't know the real position for the Taipei 101. So here, I apply the address. Okay. Okay. Before giving the address here, you can see here. Sometimes I want to change the. Okay. For example, just like in this case, I want to show the position for the Taipei 101, and I want to do the zoom in or the zoom out. Okay. So how do we perform the zoom in? Zoom in, we need to apply another method function, new latitude, longitude, zoom. Okay. 这个是另外一个，你要把地图 zoom in， 把它看整个给它打开来，看更比较细的地方，可以设那个 zoom in zoom out 的那个 scale。OK。这里我先停一下。Okay, so that's the Google map, right? And I display a certain location and giving the marker, okay? And when the user clicks the marker, you can see here, the Google map will provide the route information. So there has one button. You can click the route, and then we can provide the routing path from the current position to the destination. However, that's the emulator, right? So we don't know the current user's position. However, we can simulate or we can provide the position for the current user. So how do we provide the current position into the emulator? We can open the setting here. 打开这个 emulator setting. Open the setting. Here is the setting the page. Let's select the location and search. For example, I want to set the current position is Donghua University. So here I search the Donghua University. 我要把目前的位置设成在东华大学。You can see here. We can set the position to my school, okay, and set the location. Yeah. After we set the location, this means the Donghua University is your current position, current location. 这个东华大学就变成目前的位置。Having the current location, we can collect the navigation route， 它就会有一个路径就会跑出来。For example, I collect the route information. Okay, you can see here. We will change to another page to show the routing the page. Okay, and then you can start routing and show the turn by turn 的 route. 这个就是整个导览，就不用自己程式写，它自动就会提。Okay, so here now we see another situation. Just I say, sometimes we don't know the exact position for a certain position, and we only know the actors. In this example, I provide the address for the Taipei 101. Okay, 我们就提供台北101的那个地址。You can see here, I simply type the Taipei 101 and Taiwan. That's quite enough to locate the position. Okay, so how do we get the position from the address? We need to use the geocoder. Okay. The geocoder will translate the address into the exact position. 它会把地址转成地图的一个坐标。Okay. But you can see here. Let me see the programming code. Okay. Here is the coroutine the scope. Coroutine. Okay. We have curly brace. 这有大括号啊。So that's the coroutine. That's for lambda equation. Lambda equation. Remember, in lambda equation, in this program called geocoder, need to refer to the activity. Okay. So sometimes we want to refer to the activity. We use the keyword this. However, if you type the this here, this don't mean the activity. Okay, 这里打 this 并不是 activity. This means the this coroutine scope. You can see here. This represent coroutine scope, not this activity. Okay, so how do we want to refer to the this activity? And you can see here, we need to add the annotation. 还有个特别的写法，叫做 this at your activity 的 name。可以这样，我们这整个 activity 呢叫做 map activity， 所以要写 this at map activity， 这样才是会参考到这整个 activity， 不是简单用 this 而已，这只有在这个 lambda equation 才需要留意一下。好 ，so here we use a geocoder, and when we apply the geocoder, we need to specify the maximum result. That's for setting the maximum number of returned result. 因为地址转换的话呢，它可能会把这个相似的地点，就是相对于这个地址相似的地点，通通都会找出来。好 ，so the return may be contain more than one result. So here, if I specify, I just want to return the one. Refer to the first result. 我们只要参考一个就好。So max result is set to 1. Okay. Having the returned result, we can based on the returned result to display the position. 好了，接着我就利用回传转址的位置来去秀地图的位置，就类似这样。Okay. So here we refer to the returned result. Okay. Get the GPS position， 得到它那个经纬度。好。 So this web page does show my Google accounts. However, I found that if you don't provide the billing information, the Google Council will force you to input something like the credit card information. Maybe I will see how to solve the problem. 他每次都会强制要你输入那个 billing account， 所以我也很困扰。Because I have able to find the Google service, so I have able to register a billing account, so I don't have such problem. Yeah. If you trust the Google Map, maybe you can create a billing account. Yeah. Because that's free. Yeah. For just the texting, that's for free. So you don't need to concern about the Google will charge money from you.
可是我不输入的话，好像不能开那 APP。
对啊，刚好是。你不输入啊，好像我就不行。
所以一定要这样才能做。
我再试试看啊。我昨天也是在1000万这样，我就一直去教学，多次以后它就没有跑出来了。
真的吗？
等下再看是什么？
真的吗？那就。
Okay, I say let's take a break. 我们休息一下。
所以如果我今天需要用到那个第一的退路，但是跟你一点关系都没有，我跳过去，我要把 A 的东西用到 B。为什么你就做？在做那个类似的排名的时候有，它是那个气温，然后先把你的因为我知道那个你就可以，我说的是第一个功能跟 A 关系，也是需要 A 的，但是你为了保留 A 的资料，我用去把它不用啊，你用它知道，你到底跟它有没有任何关系？没有，它跟没有关系，它可是你就需要它，不是因为你刚不是说
其实不会收钱。对啊，万一你用不到，就会被收钱。
他超过的是给你用而已，你没去申请他，他会直接跟我讲。反正我现在理解是，这个一定是这个，然后下面有 A B 的，这个应该是我知道主播，我知道主播是，但是其他的这边然后点进去之后，然后再点进去，跟 fragment 这个中间这个地方，对，这个上面档的跟下面这个都是档案。下面这个我知道是 NAB 的它，其实我也想直接用 NAB 的那个绿色的那个招待直接开的。上面这个东西是上面这一行应该不是这个是要先扣到这边。这两个东西是写在是吗？因为你切到下一行，所以你说写在右上角。然后他点进去之后，对啊，这个我们然后如果说到他的 ID 的话，就是在我是建议做手语，应该说我不会把它写在上面，我不会写这个加号。我就懒得写，我就直接让它写在下面，加号。
有点短。都是我自己剪的。回家自己剪。我就觉得这是怪怪的。我回家。套装的话要挑死。然后我就是早上起床之后，突然就抓一撮下来，洗完澡那种，我不是吹头发，真是一整坨，然后头发成这样，我没有打毛，不知道，但大头发，好辛苦哦，这个头发。
还有那个